DC Comics, 56 seconds of logos. Helpful 3D model tells us, yep, there's a baby in there. And it doesn't look like this baby's in any position to be born right now. Hey look, it's John Carter of Krypton.
He's just beneath the central hub, sir.
Carla Gugino is heard and not seen. I guess since it's a movie taking place on a fictional foreign planet, we're not allowed to question how the flying bug thing knew where Jor-El would come out of the structure, or how it knew that he'd be forced at the last second to make the decision to jump.
Destroy it!
Zod was in perfect position to stop Jor-El from doing this, but just didn't. Can he not call out for the rest of the troops he left on the platform to come help him overpower Jor-El and stop this launch? Hey, 15 minutes in, are we still on Krypton? Yes?
I will find him.
Okay, whatever you say.
I will find him.
Got it.
I will find him, Lara.
Dude!
I will find him!
Oh, for f***'s sake. How did these elaborate dick jokes by the visual effects department sneak past the director, the editor, the studio, and the MPAA? Finally. Diane Lane isn't my wife in this scene.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
Fortunately, Clark gets a lot better at letting people die by the end of the movie. Lowering this heavy vessel into the barn basement must have required the help of a few friends, right? This can't be a total secret, can it?
I took it to a metallurgist at Kansas State. He said whatever it was made from didn't even exist on the periodic table.
And that metallurgist was wowed and amazed by the finding and told none of his colleagues.
And when that day comes, you're gonna have to make a choice. A choice of whether to stand proud in front of the human race or not.
The time that you do this, however, can't be when I'm about to die in a tornado. Just make sure it's not then. Would simply escorting this dude out of the bar be proof that alien life exists on Earth? Nope, this is a much easier explanation. Also, how did Clark do this in secret? No one heard it or saw it. How does Clark manage to snag a job at one of the most remote, top-secret locations in all the world? Asshole character tells audience he's an asshole by refusing to shake someone's hand cliché. And did Clark decide to wait until the day some reporter woman shows up to go snooping? The way they had him unloading bags at the helicopter made it seem like this wasn't his first day. But if it is his first day, then we have a sin of convenience here, because it just so happens to be Lois Lane's first day on the site as well. Clark's super hearing was so strong as a child he had to lock himself in a closet, but he can't hear any sign that Lois is following him in this otherwise completely empty cave.
It's all right, it's all right, it's all right. It's all right.
I'm handsome, see?
To see you standing there having grown into an adult.
Okay, if you want to have Jor-El show up through some magical space technology, that's okay, but why is he saying things like, to see you standing there having grown into an adult? As though he's actually there, seeing Clark. I mean, at least explain something. Toss me some technobabble or something.
If only Lara could have witnessed this.
Wouldn't his mom like to be able to use this technology too? Also, way to undercut the power of the dead father cliché by basically letting Jor-El live through this avatar, interact with Clark, guide him, and generally be a normal father for the rest of the movie.
What if a child dreamed of becoming something other than what society had intended for him or her?
Isn't that the exact plot of Gattaca?
You were the embodiment of that belief, Cal. Krypton's first natural birth in centuries.
And isn't that the exact plot of Children of Men? Of all the worthless things this movie wastes time showing us, there can't be like a 3-second explanation as to how the Superman suit got into this ancient scout ship? Superman is a dick to herds.
Looking for Pete Ross. Do you know him?
Yeah, he works at the IHOB.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't know the quiet, introverted, commonly named Pete Ross in this town?
I figured if I turned over enough stones, you'd eventually find me.
I wonder how many times Lois said that line before she was finally right that Superman was behind her.
I don't even know why I'm listening to you. You're not my dad.
You're not my dad cliché. Apparently no other strong winds accompany this huge tornado. Also, this seems to be a crazy sunny day for a tornado to form.
Head to the car!
I'll get him, I'll get him.
No, no.
Yet another situation where Clark could easily have done something and the explanation would not immediately turn to aliens.
Get your mom to the overpass.
While you're under the overpass, tell your mother about the Venturi effect. Then get your mom to someplace other than the overpass. Talk to the hand, Clark. Let a still in his prime and by all indications healthy man die in peace already. Wasn't Clark just at his dad's grave? Is that not the same place as his boyhood home? Why did he have to hitch a ride on a LexCorp truck from one side of Smallville to the other? Did you just want to squeeze in a Lex Luthor Easter egg? This movie has more flashbacks than Memento. These high school kids went all the way out to the truck and tractor repair shop to pick on Clark.
How did you find your way to Earth?
We managed to retrofit the Phantom projector into a hyperdrive.
The details of how you make something from nothing are not important. Zod takes Lois prisoner for reasons unknown, but fortunately she has that key thingy that Superman gave her so she can kickstart the plot again.
The command key, Miss Lane.
How does Jor-El know who Lois is? Even if he's somehow tapped into the ship's mainframe already, does Zod's crew seem like the kind of people who program the names of each worthless human prisoner they take aboard into the computer? Or is this projection of Jor-El's consciousness also able to read minds? Honestly, what's the point of even having him die in this story again? Well, I guess it couldn't be a superhero movie without some Jesus imagery and music, could it? Sears and now IHOP. This is a Superman for a new generation, sponsored by all your parents' favorite brands.
The craft he arrived in, where is it?
Oh, come on. Martha's better than this, right? She might as well have said, hey, check the barn. Sure, if you've got the powers, you might as well use them, even when completely unnecessary. Wait, I thought years of soaking in Earth's sun gave Superman his powers, as explicitly stated in the movie. But Zod and his crew are able to jump and fly all around like they've been living on Earth as long as Clark has. No citizens of Smallville were harmed in the making of this scene. Somehow. Do they know that all this throwing each other into buildings is useless? Or do they just like destroying buildings?
The terraforming.
Okay, so later we find out Zod wants to make this a new Krypton because...
So we can suffer through years of pain trying to adapt like your son has?
But who cares? You'd all be better, stronger, faster than before. And these are mostly babies we're talking about here. If Kal-El could do it, then surely everyone else can. Zod learns to focus the cacophony of sounds and sights that come with superpowers in about 3 seconds, which is significantly less time than it took Clark. Why metal pin impression thingies to create snaky, snappy claws? Why not, oh, I don't know, anything else?
All right, everybody, we're leaving!
Only now? Apparently Superman can overcome the weakness of the Kryptonian atmosphere if he just concentrates enough. After Zod blows up 2 ships with no problem, he then goes through a much longer process in order to shoot down this aircraft, and of course allows Superman to stop it. Here's more overuse of the Wilhelm scream. Is this supposed to be a funny death?
A good death is its own reward.
And then she just stands there letting this happen. Why is Lois falling when everything else is getting sucked into the black hole? And then Superman has to fly with all his might to make sure she doesn't get sucked into the black hole. This doesn't make any sense. There are heavy rocks and debris getting sucked into that thing, and Lois falls like she's heavier than all of them. But I guess there had to be a way for Superman to save the day that didn't require reversing the Earth's time or some stupid shit like that. Destruction porn. Superman conveniently drops off Lois right at the exact spot where Perry and the other Daily Planet people ended up. Well, this isn't like the Matrix Revolutions at all. Ah, shit. There goes HBO again. There's no freaking way Lois got here that fast. She was standing with the Daily Planet crew all the way over here, remember? In fact, it's probably impossible she even knows they landed here. Superman really had no choice here if he wanted to save those humans. I mean, it's not like he could have just gouged out Zod's eyes, or merely paralyzed him by breaking his spine, or thrown him across the room and kept fighting the fight he was winning, or used his ice breath power he somehow didn't discover in this movie to freeze Zod's heat ray, or even Zod himself. Also, after throwing each other into countless buildings and taking the fight into space and crushing satellites, Superman somehow ends it with a neck snap. Metropolis wasn't built in a day, but it was fixed in a day.
All Kryptonians were conceived in chambers such as this.
There are fields, Neo. Endless fields, where human beings are no longer born. We are grown.
Now, prisoner 24601, your time is up and your parole's begun. You know what that means.
Can you imagine how people on this planet would react if they knew there was someone like this out there?
You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged.